Yo, how you all doing? Yeah, we're gonna get started with our next one. I have officially made it to tier six on this. Uh, oh, already we got our first guest. Hi,
Sup,
Ray.
y'all?
Hello.
I was I was uh what time? Oh, it's 10. Okay, well I have time because I got 3 hours left until my group therapy.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna start the next part of this iceberg. We are on tier 6 of 28.
All right. So
Uh,
basic. So I have a Roblox account named Captain Duxter, and I spent 100 Robux on making a group because I'm going to make games on that account. And then I also made a Discord server on that account with the group. So honestly, I feel pretty cool right now.
nice. Anyway, let's without further ado, let's get this iceberg started, and I will start talking about first up. We was where I stopped at fries with that.
Hold on, I'm gonna join on my phone. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll get started. Fries with That was a Canadian sitcom that aired on YTV in 2004, and about a group of the show is about a about four group of high school friends, Patty, Robin, Tess, and Alex, who deal with typical adolescence issues. Meanwhile, while working at a fast food restaurant called Bulky's. Meanwhile, their manager Ben is always going haywire over the rest of the crew not working and tries to get them to work.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. Hi.
Anyway, unlike most short-lived sitcoms, this actually lasted 2 seasons, though both of them aired in a single calendar year, April to April to December of 2004, but it was canceled due to low ratings. And but it never really received a home media release despite being rerun until 2010. In 2013, a YouTuber uploaded 16 episodes from the first season, but but was taken down due to copyright. Though this kicked the search into gear as more episodes were found in the coming years. And on February 22nd, 2022, uh, 2222, get it? Huh?
2/22/22. Yeah. Wasn't that like the matching day?
I guess. Anyway, on that day, the whole series would be uploaded to YouTube by a user named Mariah Lampier, the self-proclaimed biggest fries with that fan ever. And and the Lost Media Wiki states, and according to the Lost Media Wiki and Mariah herself, these were recorded by a Facebook user named Visa Zaw.
I feel like barely anybody cares about Facebook right now.
I know, but Facebook could help be used to find lost media.
You're right.
Yeah, because an obscure commercial was found this year and was uploaded there.
Cool.
Next up,
Um,
Go and Get It.
I need games idea. I need game ideas that like doesn't relate to object shows, but huh.
Your mo-
Shut up.
Anyway, so Go and Get It was a 1920s silent horror comedy film directed by Marshall Nealon and Henry Simons, revolving around the violent murders of an ape man, a gorilla given the brain of a brutal criminal by a mad scientist, and an intrepid newsman who tries to find out the cause of them. It was much the film was given garnered positive reviews with much acclaim to former boxer Bull Montana's performance as the Ape Man. His makeup it was considered so realistic that he made several women in the studio become hysterical and faint. And he would play a similar role in a film 5 years later called The Lost World. The film was thought to have been lost until a copy was found in the Cineteca Italiana film archive in Italy, though this has not been publicly shared yet. There was when a 13-second clip was uploaded in October of 2022 by user Gary P. 11111. It was also shown at the Cinema Museum in Kennington, London on January 27th, and this is showing proof that the Gothic Film Society has a copy of the film. So maybe this film will be released on home video very soon. Could you see this happening?
Honestly, I'm not paying attention right now. I'm just here.
Yo.
Yeah.
God forbids recordings.
Wait, what's this? What's this Iceberg all about?
It's about lost. It's about it's the biggest lost and found media iceberg. It's talking about mostly everything on the lost media wiki.
All right.
There's and I'm on tier 6 of 28, so I got a long way to go.
I'm writing down game
so
ideas.
God forbids. Anyway, God forbid was before Mark Kozlik formed Red House Painters in or around 1988. He was in a band called God Forbid. They recorded a very small collection of tracks that may or may not have been sold to concert goers for the band's shows. Little to nothing is known about the project, and many fans of Kozlik's work didn't even know the project existed until a rare interview from 1998 of early Red House Painters material surfaced on a torrent. The interview featured Kozlik explaining the early history behind Red House Painters and hinted at some recorded tracks for God Forbid. Kozlik may have been reluctant to even mention God Forbid due to the embarrassment or dislike of his early vocals, though. Next. Godzilla, high quality release. Godzilla, or Kozilla for its director Luigi Kazi, is a 1977 colorized version of the 1954 film Gojira, only available for home ownership through TV recordings and bootleg DVDs. No known versions include the ending, although it's surfaced on the YouTube, and the full version that surfaced online in 2014, and it was a very low quality recording that had the text from the end of the reel included in the movie as it hadn't been run properly. But in 2017, Italian collector Marco Tieldi acquired a 35-minute print of this, and the film and the high quality has since been put online and on the Internet Archive. Gojira deleted scene. And speaking of that Gojira thing I mentioned just a second ago. There's some scenes. There was a scene that it's missing. It involved as a cow. It's called a quote unquote a cow eating scene, where the original film scene showed Godzilla with a cow in his mouth. It brought too many questions about Godzilla's relative size, apparently. Like many film directors of his era, the director Honda did not enjoy being reminded of his mistake. And typically, the footage like Godzilla eating a cow was ordered to get destroyed. But since at least 2 stills of the scene survive, we hope that a Toho alumnus or the studio itself will have it in the scene in original master on their vaults. Greed, 8-hour cut. Greed was a 1924 silent film directed by Austrian-born director Erich von Stroheim, which is regarded to be one of the greatest films despite the fact that it was a failure commercially and critically, and that more than half of the movie was cut before its public release. The original cut was reportedly around a whopping 8 hours, but was cut down to around 4 hours by von Stroheim himself, partly against his will. None of the lost scenes have been publicly discovered to this day, and have a very slim chance, considering it's almost been an entire century since they've been seen.
Sorry, it happened again.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
What's next? Grizzly deleted scenes. Grizzly was an independently made horror film, usually known as a Jaws ripoff, but with a bear instead of a shark, that was released in 1976. Despite its infamy as a bad movie, it's been complimented for its exceptional violent special effects. The film has some does have some deleted scenes that have not yet resurfaced, though. One include a scene where the ranger discusses shutting down the lodge with Walter Carwin, probably removed to save time. And an extra attack, there's no detail on it and is never mentioned in the movie. But it's notable that one kill that happens in a waterfall was never brought up at any point in the film, so it's very possible there was another death. Another scene where the hunter kills a black bear by mistake, possibly cut due to another scene where a black bear wanders into a hunter's camp and they claim it's the cub of the killer grizzly. If they acknowledge the black bear as being a different species, the subtle lack of logic wouldn't add up. A longer cut of the death of Dawn, the helicopter pilot, that was more graphic. The movie does show blood spurting from his mouth in the Scorpion DVD and is slightly longer, but it's possible there was also a shot of his mutilated corpse. And Scott had a longer death. In the movie, you see him get knocked out.
Better. Wow.
Anyway,
sorry, I'm trying to be funny.
You can see him get knocked out, buried, immediately wake up, and then the bears come back. He cuts away, and then there are reports that he had a graphic on-screen death. None of these have surfaced. And there was a special monologue only used in the Japanese Laserdisc release that has never been seen on another release. It came before the credits and discussed how grizzly attacks were becoming more common and common. It's very unlikely any of these will see the light of day. Habbo Islands. No. Oh, here we go. Habbo Islands is a canceled Nokia Engage title that would have been released in 2005, developed by Solake Corporation for the mobile phone market to debut along with their other mobile phone game, Hello Bullet Dreams, which was launched for Sony and Ericsson phones in 2004. It was going to be a single-player game that allowed players to explore an island and would have expanded on the Habbo Hotel lore. With the hardware limitations and the overall failure of the N-Gage, it was quietly canceled. However, a prototype was shown at E3 2006. On New Year's Day 2014, a copy of Habbo Islands running on the E3 build of the game surfaced. It was purchased on eBay with a Nokia N-Gage development unit by user Reiju. That same day, he dumped and provided a download link. It had copy protection and would not run on retail Nokia N-Gage devices. But on November 17th of 2020, someone named MUPF managed to crack it and make it playable on all N-Gages. And the N-Gage scene released the crack soon after and is available to download. What's next? Hallo Bundesliga. I'll have to excuse my terrible foreign language speaking. I'm not that good with foreign languages sometimes. Now, this was a TV series that's existed at least since 2006, and it's a weekly highlight show for the Bundesliga, the top league in Germany association football. Older episodes were initially 30 minutes long, but starting in the 2012 to 2013 season, episodes were lengthened to 30 to an hour. None of the episodes are known to have survived. And when looking at the Go ITV site on the Wayback Machine, it appears that links to some episodes were archived, but when clicked on, nothing plays, meaning that only people that recorded the show would have the only way of this being found. Hoodwinked, original cast recordings. I got a question for you. Does anyone remember Hoodwinked?
No. I don't know who that
Well,
even
it was a
is.
CGI directed by Corey Edwards and distributed by the Weinstein Company in 2005. The show is it
Was
was a
that the
surprise
question
hit.
so you can say the answer?
Well, I was explaining what the movie is.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
It was basically a movie about about a fairy tale characters, mostly about Red Riding Hood. Possibly a more action-packed version of the story, I guess. The film was a surprise hit, grossing over nearly $17 million at the box office from its, I think, $8 million budget. I think. So yeah, it just slightly made it enough. It had a somewhat mixed reception by critics, however, often pointing out the wooden animation quality, but giving credit in other places like the writing and the voice cast. Because we all know good writing can save bad animation. And I
Yeah, you're
guess
right.
this movie is a pretty good example. Huh?
Oh, I'm just saying, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I think this movie is a perfect example. But
Yeah.
this had an originally much different cast. Some original actors were in the movie were Tara Strong, David Ogen Steers, Tony Leach, Sally Struthers, Joel McCrary, Tom Kenny, and Benji Gaither. Now, some the actors that replaced it were Anne Hathaway, Jim Belushi, Anthony Anderson, Glenn Close, Zibith. I don't
Zibbit.
Zibbit. Is that some kind of music artist, by the way?
No idea.
Probably. Anyway, Chaz Palminteri, but Benji Guthrie's but was who was almost who voiced Jeff final film. Gaither kept his role in the film but almost lost it. They also insisted in shorting some songs. The only voice actors to keep their roles were Patrick Warburton as the Wolf and Andy Dick as Boingo. None of the original voice recordings have seen the light of day, and with the failure that was the sequel, Hoodwink 2: Hood vs. Evil, well, there's very little, and with the Weinstein Company shutting down, it's very unlikely we'll get to see the original recordings.
Real.
Hoshi no Koporon.
Real.
This was a sci-fi comedy anime produced that aired from 1974 to 1975. There were 260 episodes. The titular character Poron is an alien child who comes to Earth and befriends several animals, almost totally and naively ignoring humanity. However, the animal kids keep causing trouble in various places by their naughty antics and bad behaviors, and Poron secretly unleashes his mysterious power to save and punish them. Very little of the episode is surfaced. But it's an official DVD release is unlikely due to the great number of stock music used in the episodes that would be very expensive to license, and also it hasn't been re-aired since 1992 when it was last aired on Yamashi Broadcasting System. Though there are a couple episodes on YouTube. I don't think so.
Real. I'm sorry. I'm so out of it right now. I'm like playing a game.
Okay, so I don't think so was a Nickelodeon game show that never got greenlit, and thus the pilot never aired. It was made sometime in 1994. The premise, all that we have is known as the premise, is that two families competed in off-the-wall, crazy physical challenges. It was also written by Scott. The pilot was also written by Scott Fellows, who would go on to create Ned's Declassified, School Survival Guide, and Johnny Test. You know, the Johnny Test we all know and love.
No, I don't. Oh wait, yeah, Johnny Test.
The
I
only
don't love Johnny
footage
Test though. That's the thing. I don't love Johnny Test.
how dare you disrespect the beauty that is Johnny Test?
Well, I used to like it. It's just I don't know about it now. So
Anyway, the only footage of this pilot is from the same source as most Nickelodeon game shows. A 5-minute compilation video created by former crew members of Nickelodeon Studios for its 10-year anniversary in 2000. There's around 5 seconds of video without the original audio. And whether there's very little information, and whether or not Nickelodeon still has this remains unconfirmed. But the final draft of the script was sold on eBay in October 2013. And that's all we have.
real,
Idle game.
real,
Real. Yes, real.
real.
Everything on this iceberg is real.
Real.
This was a prototype of the game of the arcade game The Idol Master, which was a raising sim rhythm game where the player assumes the role of a producer assigning to train potential pop idols. It became very popular, spawning sequels, spin-offs, an anime, and a manga. This version was Idol Master. Well, madam, this was an early prototype called Idol Game, as shown at the 40th Museum Amusement Machine Show. Since then we haven't seen this version, and we don't likely never will, as no prototypes of cabinets are out there, are still known to exist, and all that exists are a few screenshots. What's next?
Don't mind the background
Illiteracy
music.
will prevail. Okay, this actually feels nice.
The song.
Illiteracy will prevail was a demo tape by the short-lived punk rock band Fecal Matter, who formed in 1985 by Kurt Cobain, who would eventually become the future frontman of Nirvana.
Oh, I remember Nirvana. I don't listen to them, but I remember getting a shirt. No, I didn't get a shirt. Someone gave me the shirt because I was absolutely freezing one day, and they were like, "Do you need a shirt?" And I'm like, or like, no, all my clothes were dirty, you know. And my roommate was like, "Do you need a shirt?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I don't have anything to wear." And they gave me a Nirvana shirt, and I'm like, I don't really know Nirvana, but okay. And so they gave me a Nirvana shirt. Rebecca's here, by the way.
Anyway, this demo tape wouldn't be found until early August on August 4th, 2015, when an unknown source leaked the full demo tape on the internet. It attracted the attention of numerous new music publications who commented on the importance of the demo in understanding the mind and life of Kurt Cobain. Rumors circulate that Dave Grohl, the bass guitarist, this was the one responsible for the leak. But this has never been proven. The original YouTube upload of the leak was taken down due to a copyright claim, but has been frequently mirrored by other fans. Possibly available on our... Oh,
Hi.
hey, Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hey, Rain. By the way, I tried to befriend you, but I realized you still have me blocked or something.
Oh, wait, I blocked you. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Let me unblock you on. Oh, wait.
I'm just reading this Lost Media Iceberg.
I'll unblock you once we're done with this stream.
Okay.
Sorry if
Okay.
like
So
some
we're yeah.
we're cool.
Are we looking at? We're looking at the iceberg of archive content.
It's actually a found media iceberg. I'm currently on tier 6 of 28 tiers.
Oof.
I'm not
That's a
even
new
paying.
for. There's
I'm
there's there's a lot more like some archive things that are missing, like blueprints.
Yeah, that was earlier in the tier that was off that was not shown on the
Yeah.
stream. Anyway, I'm
I
about to
wasn't.
get the next entry. Izzy's Adventure. So
What's
I
that?
just
Wait, Nickelodeon Lunchbox? Did we get that covered or?
the Nickelodeon launch box. I
Yeah.
don't think we haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah.
It may show up
Alright.
in a later tier though.
Okay. Whew.
Anyway, Izzy's Adventure was an adventure game based on Izzy, the Atlanta 1996 Summer Olympics mascot, released for the
Ooh.
PC that same year. It's notable for being one of the last games by British developer and publisher US Gold. Izzy, this wasn't the only piece of lost media involving Izzy, as a formerly lost TV special that has since been recovered. Now, this game was lost until until Dykate, the founder of the Lost Media Wiki, found a copy and released it on September 8th, 2015 for Found Media Week, which was a one-time event in September of 2015.
Huh. Whatever happened to Izzy's Adventure?
Jackass number 2 deleted scene.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I guess the deleted scenes were just the boys is messing around and her out some nice things. Some of them were weird.
The game can be accessed through a mega can be played through getting through a mega folder.
Wait. Jackass?
What's that? Jackass number 2 deleted scenes.
Well, if you're talking about this, talk about the season on TVs and stuff. I guess
No,
they're
I'm
just
talking about
deleted
the
scenes
movie.
from. Oh, the movie, yeah. I can see why it. There are some reasons why it was deleted. There's some deleted scenes because of how vulgar and how messed up they can be.
Anyway,
Because
here we go.
basically it's just a couple guys doing stunts and get humiliated too.
You know, one time, I was somewhere, and they had a chair that every time someone would like fall backwards in it.
By the way,
because they just
if
wanted-
you're we with someone with a razor, you have to someone shaves it off. It was funny.
I didn't even get to finish.
Sorry.
It's okay. But I was like, I didn't even get to finish my fucking sentence, bro. I was just like talking, and you're like, "Ee." It's okay though. I'm not mad.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, while most of the deleted scenes were included on DVD extras or compiled together for Jackass 2.5, 2 are still missing. But both of them have partial content found. First is called the Don Vito Tooth Pull.
It's kind of bloody, so that's why they had to opt it out.
Actually, it was
it's gonna
because
mess
of Don
up.
Vito himself, because he was arrested for inappropriately touching a minor.
Oh,
But it was later
no.
reshot for Jackass 3D,
Uh-oh.
with Aaron
Uh-oh.
McGinney taking the place of Vito.
Oh,
Though
because
though
some
you can
actors,
still see some of it
because
in a
some parts
trailer.
age poorly. I can see why. Because I can see why. That's
Yeah, a lot of
it's still
things
gross.
went poorly.
Though you can still see parts of the deleted scene in a trailer for the film.
Okay.
Next is there are 3 of these. Next one is completely lost. Human Newton's Cradle.
Huh.
It
Okay.
involved Preston Lacey, Bam and Phil
Wait,
McGarrett.
which one are we looking at?
Anyway, Humans
Oh.
doing this stunt involved Preston Lacey, Bam and Phil Margera, Vito, and Brand DiCamillo being strung up on the air alongside each other, with Preston being placed furthest to the left. Preston would then be pulled back by Rake Yohn and Jess Margera before being released, at which point he would collide with the other 4 people strung up in the air, presumably creating a chain of motion similar to the spheres in a Newton's cradle. See? What just happened?
I don't know. I think Rebecca left.
Anyway, this scene was also cut due to the same reason as Vito, the same reason as the last deleted scene I talked about. But unlike that scene, this was no footage of this exists, and all that exists is a promotional still. And the last scene is probably the one that has the most content found, called Ignited Farts in Bathtub.
Ignite, huh?
Ignited Farts in Bathtub.
Okay, then.
That involved Bam Margera, Ryan Dunn, Steve-O, Chris Pontius, and Dave England. Each of them would get in a bathtub and ignite their farts, all having eaten cabbage prior. It ended with Dave England making an attempt only to take a crap by accident.
Oh no, bruh.
Typical Jackass fashion. A few pictures can be found online, as well as in the number 2 DVD photo gallery extra, and a short clip during the Jackass 2.5 credits showed being disgusted on finding Dave's crap in the tub. And the full footage was featured on the now defunct Jackass World's website, but said footage has not been recovered following the site shutdown, and it's unknown if that will ever happen. The experiment would later be retested in Jackass Forever, with Steve-O doing the experiment. And before the experiment began, a brief clip of the unreleased version was shown. Several screenshots can be seen, though. Jamster All-Stars. Also known as Jamba All-Stars, which is in non-speaking English-speaking countries, this was a canceled 2007 action-adventure game for the PS2 and PC, developed by Mercury Games under their kid-centric Turtle Games label. The game starred popular characters from the Jamster mobile service, which was well known for selling mobile ringtones during the 2000s. The game was It's unknown whether
what.
a possible reason for the game's cancellation would be Jamster's dwindling reputation, with customers accusing the company of deceptive advertising at the time, as well as ringtones becoming more accessible without needing a service of Jamster's guide. Only a few screenshots of the game and the cover were released for the PS2 version. And it's unknown, I don't know if it's been released, as so anyone owns a copy, as Mercury Games' company appears to have gone out of business. Next.
Okay.
Jeff Buckley unreleased music tracks.
I'm gonna leave the stream.
Okay.
Okay. So, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I guess I'll continue. Jeff Buckley is considered to be one of the most influential artists of the 90s. After his drowning, even after his drowning in 1907, he slowly gathered a massive cult following. But he only released 2 solo albums, one released incomplete, that being My Sweetheart the Drunk. But a treasure trove of material has been released by his mother. For all the material released, there are many tracks that Sony, the owners of what used to be Columbia Records, which was Buckley's record label, has kept locked in their vaults. Buckley's unreleased material has been known for its exceptional quality, a rarity for a recording artist. His haven't tracks have been released via bootlegs. His earliest recording, going back to a demo from 1988, leaked onto the internet in the 2000s, titled "The Babylon Dungeon Demos." Another featured many live tracks from Cine, the coffee shop that made him famous. Aside from a huge chunk of live versions, Sony has not released any more material in recent years, but fans still have hope that there will be more uncovered. Jour de Grunier unreleased episodes. I'm sorry, that sucked. This was a very popular review on on French speaking YouTube. Creator of a video series of the same name where he reviews old video games with comedy. Kind of like, I guess, and judging by a screenshot I see on the wiki, it looks like he's in a setting similar to the Angry Video Game Nerd. But I don't know. Because he was heavily inspired by it. He keeps making it to this day. There were some notable episodes that have not been released for public viewing. Those being the pilot episode Big Review, Goonies 2, and SimCity 13. None of these have resurfaced, and it's unlikely they will ever see the light of day. Uh, what's next? Joyride Studios action figure commercials. Hold up, guys. I will be right back. Sorry about that. Give me one quick second. Anyway, Joyride Studios was a company owned by the creators of GamePro magazine, who manufactured video game action figures and figurines from 2002 to 2003. The products were frequently criticized for their cheap and poor production, with some of them looking rather ugly. Two television commercials were for their products aired on Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, MTV, and MTV2. But, however, on October 17th, 2014, a YouTuber named Michael M184 uploaded the Jail Time commercial, and an LMW user Charmander uploaded the behind the scenes commercial to their YouTube channel on June 16th of 2022. Jungle Emperor Kimba Famicom platformer. This was a canceled 1990 former action game built by Taito for the Famicom based on the popular anime and manga Kimba the White Lion. Not much is known about the game except that it was going to be released in November 1990 but was canceled for unknown reasons. No prototypes of the game are known to exist, but there was a Jungle Emperor slash Kimba the White Lion game that was planned for the N64 and was also unreleased. But that's probably a different story. Kinetophone, early sound recordings. The kinetophone developed by Thomas Edison was a combination of the kinetoscope and the phonograph, which would create some of the first visual recordings and sounds from 1894 to 1912. And obviously, dating so back have become lost. Many of them have been found, but due to how old, damage, and some rare and some components compare them are, so only a few have survived. It's unlikely. Next up, King Koopa's Cool Cartoons. Okay. King Koopa's Cool Cartoons was a local television live-action, the clown-esque spin-off of Deke Entertainment's Super Collins in 1989 and later Pat Penny, both in a rubber costume and modified appearance to be more believable. They showed cartoons from the 20s and 30s that nowhere related to the Mario. Due to the show's poor reception, and only a little footage is available. Tons of videos are talking about this show. Kingdom Hearts VCast. Okay, this is probably one that's kind of well known in the community. This is an unofficial entry in the Kingdom Hearts game especially made for the Verizon Wireless VCast cell phone network, released in Japan in 2004 and the US in 2005. It wasn't developed by Square Enix and was instead by Disney Interactive and Superscape. It's not canon to the rest of the series. Anyway. In 2012, the VCast network was disbanded, thus, to this day, the game is unplayable. A demo of the first chapter has been found by Wedge on the 4chan Kingdom Hearts community during 2016 and has been uploaded to the internet. KH Insider user CBAJD5 dumped and uploaded the third chapter in 2018. Then in 2020, YouTube user KRZon1 managed to get the first chapter running with some tweaks applied and still suffering from crashes on the Zeebo, a low-cost 2009 console showcasing full gameplay. And in 2022, KHI Insider users Ryu and Craze1984 dumped and uploaded the fourth chapter. And in April of the same year, another KH Insider user, Scrooge McDuck, posted a full playthrough of the fourth chapter. The only chapter that has not seen the light of day is chapter 2, which will hopefully see the light of day one day, considering there is a dedicated community trying to find this thing and make it fully playable. So, yeah, I won't be surprised if that gets found. La Planeta de Donkey Kong / TKTV. Not to be confused with the CGI animated series Donkey Kong Country, this was a programming block that aired in France from 1996 to 2001 on the channel France 2. It was first show introduced as Donkey Kong Planet and centered around various cartoons and children's shows, such as Beetlejuice, The Addams Family, Cat's Eye, City Hunter, and Reboot, with short segments ranging from fake commercials to music videos. Many of these segments had CGI characters interacting with the real world in live-action act. This was achieved by using motion capture technology to easily insert the models into the scene as opposed to animating them from scratch every time. Media Lab Technology, the team behind this, was also responsible for Donkey Kong, the Donkey Kong Country television series. Because of this, with DKTV and DKC share many assets, namely the models and animation. And despite this, or possibly to this, nearly every skit only featured Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Candy, Funky Kong, colors or reskins of them. Only rarely would other characters from the show appear in some form. Due to the nature of programming interstitials, this has fallen into obscurity with only roughly 40 minutes of footage available at the block. Legends of the Hidden Temple Pit of Despair incident footage. Legends of the Hidden Temple is one of the most iconic Nickelodeon game shows of the 90s. A revival was while no aired episodes are missing, there was a temple run or possibly an entire episode that never aired at all. According to host Kirk Frog on the website The Garage Show with Jeff Sutphin, there was a female contestant in the temple. This episode, season, and team weren't specified. She'd been having a meltdown and ironically the pit of despair. The cameras were still rolling, however, she eventually vomited everywhere and they had to stop to record after everything was cleaned up. No one knows why it happened. However, it is possible she was overtired as temple runs would be recorded during the nighttime hours. There isn't much information on this than what's already been stated, but despite the slim chance of it still existing, it can easily be assumed that it was confiscated due to the fact that the tape couldn't be used. Little Muppet Monsters. In 1985, after the first season of Jim Henson's Muppet Babies brought in huge ratings, CBS decided to expand the series from an half to an hour-long blog, preparing with a show called Little Muppet Monsters to make it a full hour-long package called Muppets, Babies, and Monsters. Little Muppet Monsters was about three young Muppet monsters: Tug, Boo, and Molly, who, after an incident where Scooter put them in the basement because Molly and Boo had played water polo in the living room, host their own basement-based TV show featuring a musical act with Nicky Napoleon and his Emperor Penguins. A few cameos and segments like Fozzie's Comedy Corner and a segment with Gonzo from characters from The Muppet Show, including the Electric Mayhem during the opening credits, excitedly watching the show at home on their sofa. Recurring animated segments like Pigs in Space, Kermit the Frog Private Eye, and Muppet Sports Shorts, featuring animal and one original Muppet song per episode. The show was canceled after 3 episodes and was never rerun afterwards. And while those 3 episodes are readily available online, there are at least 10 known others, but there are 5 others that aren't even confirmed to exist. And of these, only the 6th, 10th, and 12th, 6th, 10th, and 12th episodes have been partially found. With the 7 are lost completely, and it's unknown if the last 5, even the 14 to 18, even exist. Okay, I think I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to stop. Little Big Planet Generator. This Little Big Planet Generator was a Flash game released in September 2008 to promote the PS3 title Little Big Planet. In the game, one could customize their own 3D Sackboy and share it for others to view online. The game was originally hosted on mysackboy.littlebigplanet.com, but appears to have been taken down sometime in May of 2011, with the URL now redirecting to the official homepage of the PlayStation, starting in June, and now it's not working at all. Only a rip of Sackboy's files from the website have resurfaced, and the website only shows a black screen. As of now, 3 videos and a couple of screenshots of the game can be found. And the only resurfacing files are a rip of Sackboy and various costumes from the game. This was done by a user by the name of FriedSlick6. It's unknown how they managed to rip the files, considering this was done after the website went down. But on June 19th of this year, someone named Tarn Gordon Rogers was contacted. She was the maker of the Vimeo video of a Vimeo linked in the game. In her email, she stated how she worked on the copy and created for the website, but did not have the game in her possession. She gave further information that the agency that made the game was called Agency Republic. This agency has long since been closed. She also said the site won a FWA award and was runner-up for IAB Creative Showcase. As of now, this is all that has surfaced of the game. So yeah, that's all for today, and I will not be doing one of these tomorrow because I will be visiting family. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Keep on notifications, and maybe we'll see you guys.